Hi everyone, my name's Sabrina. I've been doing my internship at Dayton Children's Hospital. So when the group proposal came about, I had come up with a few different ideas, but actually ended up talking to my like field instructor, my social worker that I have been working with, and was telling her about it. And she kind of helped me look up stuff and based off of what I'd kind of turned in and what the agency itself would need and all of that. And she actually helped me come up with, I would do like a group that's based on like a staff type of a group. So I think that Dayton Children's, because mental health is such a crisis with children, and we are seeing that a lot at Dayton Children's, I would come up with a group, like a support group for the Dayton Children's employees. Because based off of just an article that I found from a local children's hospital close to our area up in Columbus, I'm from Dayton, so about an hour from us, they did a study that showed that a lot of employees don't feel comfortable talking to their managers or even their coworkers about their children's mental health. That's just not something that's brought up a lot. So maybe you would call in and say, oh, my kid has strep today, or my kid has the flu today and I can't come in. And you're comfortable telling your employer that, or even talking with your coworkers about, my kid's been having migraines, or my kid had to go and get glasses, just general things like that. Most employees feel comfortable talking to other coworkers or their managers, but it's less common, like a lot less common. Like there's only like 20% of people who are comfortable talking to their employers or coworkers about their children who have mental health illness. So I believe that Dayton Children should offer a support group that would allow the community and Dayton Children's, their employees or employers, to have support groups, be able to talk to each other and, find other people within the Dayton Children's community that also have children with a lot of the same situations. And that would help even the morale of the hospital. It would just help the employees feel more comfortable and not feel like they need to hide or anything like that. Also, being able to feel comfortable speaking to their manager would help them manage their life a little bit better. Feeling like you have to hide and not be able to talk about certain things, and you don't want anybody to find out, and what if they, are worried that you won't be able to do your job or things like that. Being open with the employer is very important so that they can work with that person. Maybe if they have to take like an extended leave, like a week or 2 weeks for their child or things like that, they may even be able to work with these people to be able to work from home or things like that. But first, your first step the employees have to feel comfortable to speak to the employer. So as I said, what I come up with was group meetings. This would be anybody who wanted to join them. They have a thing at Dayton Children's called the intranet. So it's their own little internet-based, no one else outside the community can see that. And they could put that on there and show people, advertise the groups. While I was doing my research, what I did find out was there is different cultures that believe different things. So like the Asian culture, they believe that showing like any type of like mental illness is considered to be weak. So at some point, I think in general at first, just offering the group to see who would be interested in doing it. How much of the Dayton Children's employees would be interested in doing a support group with other employees. Once they established that, then they could move on and maybe open up more groups? Would people of different cultures be interested in different types of same support for their children who have mental health, but the parents can meet and talk about it, but it would be different cultures of support groups. Again, that would, maybe a survey would get sent out for something like that, within the hospital. Who would be interested in that? So then you run into who is going to run the groups. I think that it should first be department. These groups should be posted in departments. So the emergency department, the ICU, the general peds floor, cardiology, things like that. It should be, you should start their support groups within those, because those are other employees, their coworkers, and that's their manager. So the manager could run once a week, if your hours are from 7A to 7P, 6P, or, at 7 p.m., 8 p.m., we're going to do this group, and they run it. And that allows their employees to see that the manager or the supervisor is engaged. They care. They're going to be there. They're going to hear it. They're going to listen, and they're going to be more open to talking about that with their employer if something comes up in their life that they need to call off work about. If they do not have a lot of people who want to do it within their department, because maybe they want to find people within children's, but maybe they don't want the people that they work with to know such personal information. So then it could be house-wide. We're going to have a very large group once a week, 6 a.m., 8 p.m., some time that these people would be getting off work or maybe coming into work. You're welcome to come. Anybody can come. That way people can get together. They can talk. I still think that these should be run by managers within different departments. This, again, just shows that the managers are supportive in this whole process. The way that I would evaluate the group is at the end, or at once a month. Each individual who has been actively coming to the groups would do a survey every month. That way you can see, you'd have the same survey every month, but you could see who are, like, if you are getting a positive effect from the group, or not. I mean, if not, then there could be things that could be changed, or maybe you could ask what they would like to see, or different things like that. As for icebreakers, I think that if it's run by a manager, they could ask people ahead of time if they know an employee really well and they know that they feel comfortable talking. Maybe they don't even have to come to the group every week, but they're like a speaker. And this I seen in the AA meeting, they would have a speaker. So they would have a speaker, they would tell their story, and then the floor would be open for like questions or things like that. And I think that's just a nice icebreaker for people to realize that they're not the only ones who's going through this. And so that would, feeling that someone else understands you, I just think is a nice icebreaker, and it helps open up people. Topics, I think that they're going to bring up their own topics. I think if anybody's coming to the groups, that they would feel comfortable talking about their child who has mental health illness. I mean, everybody's experience is different. And when I say mental health illness, I feel like a lot of people think, okay, children who are depressed and who maybe they're thinking of suicide. It's not just that. It could be children who are autistic, or children who are ADHD. That's just kind of under this big umbrella of mental health illness. So it could be anything. So I think having speakers that have children under this whole umbrella, just different ones every week, is going to help people feel comfortable and start opening up and bringing in more people to the group. I think that just the activity, I think it's going to just be, I would just run it an hour, because you want to make it accessible to people who are coming into work or getting off of work. So you don't want to make it very long. And having it once a week, you're just going to give people the opportunity to kind of meet and greet and talk and get to know each other. But I mean, I really think that that's it. My social worker really liked the idea, and she thought that it was really actually a great idea. So I'm glad that I was able to find something like that and learn more about it, because mental health is a crisis right now, especially with children. And Dayton Children's is doing so much to help the children, but I think that the parents, they just kind of fly under the radar. They're just there to help their kids. They're not even thinking about helping themselves. And that mental health is also kind of a stigma. It has a stigma attached to it. It's very hush-hush. We don't talk about it. Nobody needs to know about it. It's very common. And I think a lot of people would feel comfortable knowing that, oh, my coworker that I've worked with for the past 5 years has a child who's also has mental health. So it's just something that I think would be a good move at Dayton Children's. So hopefully you enjoyed. Can't wait to watch everybody else's. Thanks. Bye.